Hey YouTube, this is just going to be a quick video called "You Can't Eat Silver." I've heard that argument a lot from people when they're trying to be negative about somebody stacking, and usually they're referring to if there was some kind of SHTF situation and you had a bunch of silver, that you'd be stuck with it because you can't eat it. So anyway, I just think that's kind of a funny argument. You can't eat bullets or other things, guns that people stockpile. You can't eat toilet paper. But people still do it. So anyway, here's kind of my thoughts on, since you can't eat it, here are some other things that you can do with it. Number one, you can save money. For me, it's been a huge reason why I stack. I try to put 10% away every month at least into savings, and that's not all into metals. I try to put some into my savings account, some into metals, some extra into the principal on my mortgage every month, but I try to put 10% away at least of every paycheck, and my wife's as well. And the way we look at it is, if we can do that for 10 years and put 10% away, then we'll have a year's worth of salary for both of us put away in savings and in assets. So it's good for us. It's helped us to be able to save more money than we did when we just were using just a savings account. So number two, you can hedge against inflation. If you take a long view, and you're stacking silver, it can help you not lose value for your money. If you have $1,000 and you have it tucked away under your mattress, as cash, 10 years from now when you go to spend that $1,000, you're going to be able to buy a lot less than $1,000 worth of goods at the current time, maybe $900 worth. So cash, well, it's good to have some cash. We have some cash stashed, but you're going to lose money on it as it goes along with inflation. Whereas if you have silver, you're not guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed, but typically it performs fairly well as far as keeping up with inflation and at least improving with inflation. And there's a chance at least you don't lose money there. Number three, it can help you wake up and get your finances in order. When I first started stacking, that was the biggest benefit I found, was not just in getting the silver, but I found myself getting other areas of my life straightened out. As far as finances, I started trimming down my bills and making a budget and things like that I hadn't done before, and it really kind of helped me to get my financial house in order. I paid off some debts and stuff that I had, and really just tried to trim down my debt a couple areas, and it really just helped me to get my finances in order by starting to stack. The next item, number four, you can give it. You can give it as a gift. Going back to number three, waking up and getting your financial house in order. The reason I got started in stacking was somebody gave me a gift of silver, and I've tried to do that for others. If I have friends who struggle financially and I need some help, then I've given them the gift of silver, and not always, but a few times it's worked out where they've started then to stack and to get their finances in order, and it's a great gift to give to somebody to help them to understand kind of the value of money and the value of things, and puts things in perspective. So you can give it as a gift, and if you have a loved one who needs to wake up and get their finances in order, it's a great way to do that. Number five, it can satisfy your need to buy. We live in a consumer society, and it feels good to buy things, and a lot of times we buy junk that ends up in a landfill, but with silver or gold, it satisfies that itch to go buy things. When I go buy my monthly purchase each month after I get paid, I really look forward to that trip. I enjoy it. I enjoy, talking to my local coin shop owner, and I enjoy everything about the trip. I enjoy coming home with the metal, and I always feel good about it, and I know that purchase isn't going to be wasted, and it kind of cures that itch where I'm not buying other stupid things because I've kind of scratched that itch already when I bought the silver. So it's helped me to save money that way as well, not wasting money on frivolous things. Okay, number six, you could barter with it, and this is kind of the argument starting the whole video, is that you can't eat it, and so people won't want to barter with it, but I think you can. And even not going into an SHTF situation, I've used it to purchase guns, trading with people for different things, services. There are still a lot of people who want to barter with silver, and it's better for them to barter with silver than to deal with cash. So, it keeps Uncle Sam out of it. So Anyway, you can still barter with it, no matter what people say. I have done it even currently, and we're definitely not in an SHTF situation, so it is an option. Number 7, you can watch it grow, which is to me is one of the fun parts about stacking. Is every month, getting a little bit here and there. It really does add up. Like I've said before in other videos, I used to watch YouTube videos, and I never thought I would be have a stack like some of the people who I idolized on there, and it's taken them 3-4 years, but now my stack is, while it's not great, it's starting to be respectable, compared to some of the people who I really looked up to. And so really in the scope of things, 4, 5, 6, 10 years isn't that long in a lifetime, and so you really can acquire quite a bit just going a little bit every month over a long period of time. So, and it's very enjoyable for me to watch the stack grow every month. Number 8, you can secure your future. I know for my wife and I, we'll have some decent retirement with our jobs, but it's good just to save that extra money toward retirement, toward a college fund for our kids. We're looking at it like we're going to pay off our mortgage early with some of the metal, and so those kind of things are just great for your future. And you don't think about that a lot when you're young, but the older you get, the more you start to think about that. And it's just been good for us, I think, to help us to think about that more and start planning for that, for our future and for our kids' future. And I think silver is a big part of that. Number 9, it can help you sleep better. Once you kind of feel more secure, you've got more money saved, you'll sleep better at night. I know when we've had tough times, I've always just kind of said to my wife, well, if we needed to, we've got 6 months worth of salary here, in metal that we could use, or as it continues to grow, that cushion gets bigger and bigger. Whereas if one of us lost our job, God forbid, or we had a total car meltdown, those kind of things, you always have something in reserve to take care of those issues, to handle those things. Or if one of our kids got sick, or one of us got sick, it just helps you feel more secure and more safe. You'll sleep better at night knowing that you've got that kind of put away for an emergency. Number 10, you can loan. If you have, I don't recommend loaning money to friends, but if you, have a friend or family member that needs a loan, you can do it. You can do it without interest if you like. And even what I'm talking about more on this purpose of this video is loaning to yourself. I know my wife and I have used it like a credit card when we've had silver, and we've said, we don't want to put this big purchase on a credit card, so we'll sell a little bit of metal, and then we know that we'll pay it back. And just put it back into metal, but we obviously aren't paying interest on it. So it just saves you that money for interest if you can use it like a credit card when you need to. We try not to do that, but a couple times a year we do, or if we have a car issue or something, and we always try to, instead of just putting it on the credit card, we'll do it with silver, and then instead of making that payment to the credit card, we'll just buy that silver back until we're back to where we were at, and usually plus some more. But it's been nice for us to just save that money and not give that money to the credit card companies because you've got the money to loan the money to yourself. So that's one, I think, way to do it. A couple other things, kind of some bonus items here. I think you can also use silver as a gateway to gold, and I love stacking gold as well, and it took me quite a while stacking silver before I got into stacking gold, but I'm glad that I got into gold, and I would never have gotten into gold if I hadn't got into silver first. So it's kind of a gateway to gold, and that's another, thing that you can use it for. And the last one on here is you can have fun with it. Stacking has been a lot of fun for me. I don't necessarily consider myself a collector. I mean, when the time comes to sell it, when the price is right, I will definitely be selling. There are a few pieces that I'll probably keep, for legacy pieces or whatever. But I certainly don't consider myself a collector. I'm not into slab coins and that kind of stuff. And if you are, that's great. But you can get into that. And even just collecting generic, there's a lot of variety with bars and rounds, and you get in different dates of eagles and things like that. You can have a lot of fun stacking silver. You don't just have to get the same thing every month. There's so much variety that it really does kind of become like a hobby. I've had a lot of fun with it through the years, and my enthusiasm for it has kept up over this time. So I think if it weren't enjoyable, then that wouldn't be the case. So anyway, guys, just some of my thoughts on, since you can't eat silver, some thoughts on things that you can do with it. So there are a lot of things, and there's probably some I missed, but those are just some of the ones that jumped out to me. So anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Take care. God bless.